So today we read a bit of a post from the New York Liberty GM talking about a few things, and I actually really liked the New York Liberty GM. You might be saying that like he definitely jumped the gun with some of these moves, that maybe some of the moves that he made were not the greatest, but it seems like he's one of those things that I like in a GM, and I think it's one of those things that I really need, and it's about being proactive rather than reactive. He's absolutely proactive rather than reactive. And one of the big things is about Ionescu, with, according to the WNBA players, the fourth best guard in the league. Yes, I shit you not. They said that Natasha Cloud was the fourth best guard in the WNBA. They said she was the fourth best guard. The fourth best guard. The players voted her fourth best guard. Fourth. She averages 10 a game. She had 7 points in that elimination game. And again, 0 points in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, Natasha Cloud's good. I think she's good. I said last year that everyone was going mad, being like, oh, she's way better than Benigea Hamilton. But like, I was like, they're kind of a lateral step. I said it that I genuinely do think that it was a lateral step. But at the end of the day, I think that they worked better. They absolutely worked better with Benigea Hamilton and Breanna in the backcourt. Their backcourt 1,000,000% worked better. They worked better with those because they could not get Breanna good shots. She had her lowest quality looks ever in her career, and her and Tash Cloud did not work as a backcourt. I don't think it's a knock on them as players, but this is what the GM said on Ionescu. We're always evaluating what is the best backcourt partner for her and how we're planning to use her going forward. In terms of Tash pairing, I don't know that we really solved the off-ball production opportunities with Tash in ways that were conducive to creating success for Breanna. I don't know that we got her a lot of clean looks this year from three. And it's funny because a lot of people would have said, and this is the Caitlyn situation all over again. And it was the same thing kind of with Sloot, is like, oh, get her a point guard and let her play the two and she gets better quality looks. And that just didn't work. Like, that just absolutely did not work for Breanna. Like, it did not work. And we're seeing now the New York Liberty GM basically being like, well, I mean, this is Breanna's team, and it doesn't matter how good you are. Your job, well, not necessarily Breanna. She was talking a little bit later about the the main three wanting to stay. Obviously, he talks about so it says here, I think it's something we're always evaluating what's the best backcourt partner. It's really how we're planning to use her going forward, and that's something we've been currently discussing in terms of Tash pairing. I don't know to resolve the off-ball production opportunities with Tash in ways. Sorry, we've already read that. She's one of the shooters in the world with immense gravitational pull. I just think that there's ways we can continue to evolve there in terms of a partner. I mean, there's something we're looking at. I think there's consideration. Is it time? Is it time for Sav to be the one? If so, what does the partner look like? And so basically, they have just said, yeah, you know, we tried to get better quality looks for Breanna by putting a point guard beside her, and that didn't work. And I think that, in unpopular opinion, that is the way basketball's going. Like, you don't, like, there's only one Steph Curry, there's only one Warrior system, there's only one Draymond Green. So when you're starting to look at this Warrior system and you're basing everything being like, look at how Steph Curry works off the ball, when Steph Curry was a two guard. Like, Steph Curry was an out and out two guard coming into the NBA who transitioned to being a point guard. So it's not like it's not like when it comes to Curry that he was one of those players that, you know, oh, he was a point guard, had to learn to play off the ball. He was the opposite. He had to learn to play on the ball, pretty much. Well, he had to learn to be like an on the ball creator. But at the end of the day, you're seeing what the New York Liberty are saying, and it's like they have a really good player in Natasha Cloud. But they're basically saying, yeah, Tash is great. Well, they didn't say that, but it's like, Tash doesn't work with Breanna. We're moving on. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter. They don't give a damn about hurting players' feelings. They don't give a damn about everyone being like, oh, Natasha Cloud shot she shot 56% in the playoffs. She was the only player. It's like, it's not about that. Like, is there a better place for... I don't care. Like, neither does Brooklyn, by the way. Neither does the... Like, I mean this. All they care about, they don't care if she's outspoken, progressive, fly, mask of center. What the fuck does that mean? Black or her sexuality. They give a damn. Can she play with Sabrina Ionescu? Does she make Sabrina Ionescu better? And does the pairing make the New York Liberty closer or further away from being contenders versus another max contract player, which Tash Cloud is? That's all they care about. Like, this whole league is never about basketball. It is never about basketball. I saw a thing with Izzy and Tash Cloud, and they were like bigger than the program. Izzy fucking Harrison and Tash Cloud bigger than the New York Liberty? Like, I mean this. What the hell is this league? What is this league? You've got a GM doing what GMs are supposed to be doing. Being like, okay, they're there, like, basically, they have a core four. Just like the Fever, they have a core four. They're like, how do we build around John Quell, Stewie, and, like, they obviously, the MMS experiment failed. Did not work. I still think if she comes back to W next year, she's an all-star wherever she goes. But that experiment didn't work because Sandy Brondolo does not play modern basketball. Sandy Brondolo doesn't play modern basketball. It didn't work. Sandy Brondolo's a good coach. Doesn't play modern basketball. Not the right coach for these three players to win consistently because they underperformed. They should have walked the playoffs last year. They underperformed. Especially when you have a team that just gone to the finals, kind of choked in the finals in 2023, and then added Leo Phoebish, who's a literal unicorn in the league, who is the best fourth option the league may have seen since Lindsay Whalen. Like, I don't know, but I really like this from the Liberty, and I think the Liberty are going to be good for a while because they are proactive. They are looking to see what's the best way to use Sabrina, and it's been very clear that Sabrina Ionescu at the point is the best version of Sabrina. The best version of Sabrina is when they've been healthy and she's running the point. I know she was bad in Game 5 of the finals last year. She had a broken hand. But at the end of the day, Sabrina running the 1 with somebody at the 2. Lainey Hamilton's probably going to come on a cut deal. She's probably going to play on half a max contract because she's coming off a big knee injury. And then you're going to be able to... You've got Leo on a 2 more years of a rookie deal. Leo Phoebish is going to be... I mean this when I say this. Leo Phoebish is going to be the perfect starter. Like, I would give up any player outside of the big 3 from Indiana and our first round pick. Well, to be fair, that's literally saying I give up Lexi Hall, KK, and the first round pick for Leo Phoebish. Like, if she was a free agent, I'd give her a max contract. Because there are not many 6'4" snipers that are locked down. That are locked down and, yeah, that are going to be some of the best shooters in the league. She's like a better version of Sophie Cunningham. You don't replace Phoebish. Like, Phoebish is a guarantee in that starting 5. But at the end of the day, they're smart about it because you can't run it back, especially with how poorly Sabrina looked at times. As good as Tash was, they didn't work well together. It was simple as that. They didn't work well together. We don't need to overcomplicate things because they're both good players. They didn't work well, and you've now got a GM that's able to see that, and not only able to see that, willing to say it and be like, we're evaluating who the best player is to play with Sabrina. And they were talking as well about getting length and athleticism and defense. They were like, we need length and we need two-way players to surround those 3 players. They already have one in Leo Phoebish. Benijah Laney is that as well. And it's trying to find who that player is going to be. And it's not necessarily going to be a star. We're seeing it with the Lynx. We're seeing it with the Fever. We're seeing it with the Phoenix Mercury. You don't need those extra stars. Like, the Mercury got no better when Kat Copper came back. It is about finding those players. And I mean this, like, you can find that player overseas. You can find that player maybe out of college. Like, maybe they don't have their draft pick this year, but that's not the end of the world. You can find that player in, like from a young player overseas, you can find a way to fleece a franchise for the rights to a player. Maybe that player is off the bench or Raquel Carrera, who you have the rights to. Maybe you find a way to trade a Raquel Carrera, and maybe you trade the rights to Raquel and Marina Foto, who you have the rights to both of them. Maybe you go and trade the rights to both of them for maybe the 8th pick and take a Garzón if that's what you believe works. I don't think Garzón is that good because I don't think he's going to be good enough on the defensive end. But that's the way you can see that's their thought process about this. And in my opinion, I think that they are going about this the right way. And you're never going to make right decisions when you're in a process, especially when you're trying to win constantly. But as long as you are trying to be proactive and you have the foresight to say, yes, Tash Cloud is good. Yes, Tash Cloud was good this year. But will Tash Cloud and Sabrina Ionescu combo, will that combo win us a championship next year? If you even for a second think that the answer is no, you just move on. And I think that's what they're going to be doing. Like, it's nothing to do with how Tash played as an individual. Well, nothing like that much to do with it. It's all to do with how she fits beside Sabrina. Because as much as the WNBA will, these dumbass fans will try to make you believe you're some ist or some form of ist if you say anything negative about certain players. There is a clear she clearly didn't get open shots for Sabrina Ionescu, and that's what she was brought in for. They gave up 2 first round picks for her to help Sabrina Ionescu. She didn't. It's as simple as that. They are happy with the 4, as bad as John Quell was in that game in the playoffs. They are happy with John Quell and Stewie. They're going to run it back with those 3. They're coming back. They're obviously happy with Leo Fibish. Like, Leo Fibish is probably the most untouchable of them all, other than Sabrina in a trade. They are going to run it back with Sabrina. And it is what max contract player. In my opinion, I would have thought if she's going to be exclusively at the 1, if I'm the New York Liberty, I'm looking at Jackie Young in the offseason. I'm looking at Jackie Young. I'm looking at Kayla McBride. I was trying to think who are like the top tier guards in the WNBA, because if they have a max contract to give out because they have so many people fucking rookie deals. I'm just trying to think who you could sign there with Sabrina exclusively at the 1, players that will be able to spread the floor. For me, my first thing is I'm giving all the money to Kayla McBride. I'm giving every cent of the max to Kayla McBride if I'm the New York Liberty. I don't know if she goes and does it, if she goes and makes that trade or does that, but that is what I'm doing, because what Kayla McBride does is it means you can't double anyone. It means you can't send help off Phoebish or Kayla McBride. They're both really good defenders. And you're not going to double Sabrina off Stewie. You're not going to double Sabrina off Jonquel Jones. It means that anytime she is creating anything, she's going to be open. Kayla McBride is decent going head down to the basket and she can kick. Same, Phoebish, not the best at that, but Stewie can play point forward with Sabrina off the ball with all the gravity. That is the player that I fully believe in the backcourt should be the main target. If they have to, worst case scenario, if they end up with Lainey Hamilton back, is not the end of the world. But for me, I think their main goal should be Kayla McBride. And I think that they are a team that could be doable depending on who the coach is. But anyway, I'll see you guys.